Hello everyone, my name is Hunter, and today we are going to be looking at some tech, specifically computer stuff, from the 80s. This video will be laid out into 10 separate years, going all the way from 1980 to 1989. And with that, let's get started. First up, we have the first 1 gigabyte hard drive. Nowadays, most computers have around 500 to 1,000 gigabytes, but back then, most hard drives and computers only had around 5 to 10 megabytes of storage, which is less than 1% of a single gigabyte. But in 1980, IBM managed to create the first ever 1 gigabyte hard drive. They did this by combining two high capacity and very large hard disks to get a single 1.26 gigabyte hard drive that was the size of a refrigerator. This 1 gigabyte hard drive was actually sold at the very low price of $81,000. Now let's move on to 1981 with the IBM PC. It was the first ever personal computer that people could buy for home or office use. This was the computer that popularized the term PC, or personal computer, and helped pave the ground for the computer that we have today. The IBM PC was released on August 12, 1981 and cost $1,565, which is around $4,000 today. Now for 1982 with the Commodore 64. This is a good one. It was an 8-bit computer and is known for being the highest sold computer of all time. This computer is a bit weird compared to the IBM PC that was released around a year ago. It runs a completely different operating system called BASIC. BASIC is a programming language that people use to create programs straight from their computer with no additional software. The Commodore 64 was super accessible and easy to set up. It was sold at department stores, toy stores, and discount stores instead of just being sold at electronic stores. It was marketed as a low-end computer and sold at a very low price of $595 or $1,880 in today's money. Next up we have the CD player. CD stands for compact disc for those who don't know. The CD player allowed people to listen to digital audio recordings or music. The CD player was also the replacement of vinyl discs and vinyl players before it. The first CD player, the Sony CDP-101, was released on October 1st, 1982 at a price of 168,000 yen or $730 in US currency. Now, for 1983 we have two devices that I'm going to be talking about. The first ever mobile phone and the first ever camcorder. First up we have the first mobile phone. It allowed people to call people on the go more easily. Portable phones before had to be connected to a car, but with this you can take it anywhere. The first mobile phone, the Motorola Dynatac 8000X, cost $3,995 or $9,300 in 2024. Next up we have that's a lot of text. First up we have the first camcorder. The first camcorder ever released for commercial use was the Sony Betamovie BMC100. Camcorders nowadays have hard drives or SD cards, but the first camcorder used VHS tapes. One of these. How it would work is you would put a blank VHS tape, like this one, into the camcorder, go and record your footage, or whatever it is you're going to use, and then play back your footage on a TV with a VCR. The camcorder helped to make home movies easier to make and more convenient. Did I not include how much this thing cost? Now let's move on to 1984 with the release of the original Macintosh. The original Macintosh was revolutionary for both Apple and home and office computing altogether. It had a graphical user interface, or GUI, making it easier to use over the MS-DOS text-based interface, and it came with a mouse, which allowed people to use this computer much more easily. Because of the original Macintosh, it led to Apple creating the other numerous, reasonably overpriced computers that we all know today, like the iMac or the MacBook. The original Macintosh was released on January 24th, 1984, cost $2,495 or $7,300 in 2024. For 1985, we also have two tech items, Windows 1.0 and the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, first let's talk about Windows 1.0. Windows 1.0 was the first ever release of the Microsoft Windows operating system that we know today. Windows 1.0 made computing way more easier, giving the user's computer a graphical user interface that made multiple things possible on your computer, like Notepad for taking notes or whatever, Paint, calculator, clock if you want to check the time, That's nice thing. Next up, we have the Nintendo Entertainment System. The Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES for short, was the first home entertainment system ever released by Nintendo. The NES was the best-selling console of its time and helped rebuild the gaming industry after the video game crash of 1983. It stood out from all the other game consoles that came out before it and properly defined what a game console should be and helped shape the game consoles we have today, like the PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and my personal favorite, the Nintendo Switch. The NES was released on July 15th, 1983 for Japan only and was later released into North America on October 18th, 1985. Some popular games of this console were Super Mario Bros. Let me jump on you. Oh. Duck Hunt, and Tetris. For 1986, we had the Brain virus. Basically, how this virus works is that it will infect the boot sector of a floppy disk and move the clean boot sector to another section on the disk. Because of this, it causes the floppy disk to slow down and renames the floppy disk to Brain. Other than that, it doesn't do much, but it will read out a message that says contact these people because your PC is infected, even though it's not. In 1987, we have the first ever OLED screen. The first ever OLED screen was invented by Ching Tang and Stephen Van Slyke, I think that's how you say it, who worked for Eastman Kodak, the company that would start making digital cameras. OLED screens allowed for brighter colors and blacker blacks by only lighting up the pixels that needed to be lit up. Compared to the LCD displays that are still widely used, they have a light in the back that lights up every pixel on the display. So LCDs do not show true black. Although the OLED was invented in 1987, it still took a long time for it to be mass-produced and put into products we know today like TVs and smartphones. In 1988, we have Microsoft Office. Microsoft Office is still used today, and it is basically the Microsoft version of Google Docs, Google Slides, and Google Sheets. Microsoft Office is also one of Microsoft's key tech services alongside Microsoft Windows and the Xbox. When Microsoft Office came out, it was a big success. It helped make it easier for businesses and home users to create, share, and edit documents of multiple types. It was also released for the Macintosh a few years later. Now for 1989. The World Wide Web was formed. In 1989 and early 90s, it helped people get information quick and easily. It allowed people to share content for other people to see. Nowadays, the web has become the world's most dominant information system platform. How it works is the web consists of web pages with the HTML format. It allows website creators to add text, images, videos, and audio into their websites. The web was invented by English computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee while working at the company CERN. CERN, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. He wanted to find a way to make it easier to find, update, and distribute information from CERN to other companies. It was later released to the public in 1993. And there you have it, tech from the 80s. Now, I love 80s technology. It just goes to show how far we've come since the beginning of the technology age. And seeing all this stuff like slowly going away, it's depressing. Like, oh my god, it is depressing. Well, maybe someday we'll have like a way to remake this technology, like a 3D printing thing that can reprint full-on functional motherboards, and then maybe we can get old stuff again. So, very nice, very nice. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning about some technology that came out before you, and most of you were born. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. I am done with this project. I am just so done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to get over with this.